My name is Tangan. I develop login and register and database. First, let me start with the server. This will listen to the port 3000 and can connect to a database successfully. It's connected by data connection and a schema. Now let's go to the front end of the login and register. So this is a login front end. When the user is new, they can sign up and they type their first name and last name, email and password. Once the sign up successfully, it adds to the database. As you can see, this is the user. It inserts the data in the MongoDB. After sign up, go to the register. If they forgot to fill this up, they have to fill up. Once the correct details, they can go into the home page, and here is your name. Welcome your name. So for the login, for the register, if the same email was already exist, for example, you can see there is a user with given name already exists. Okay, for the password validation, for example, I type one, should at least 8 characters long. The password should have one uppercase letter. They should have at least symbol. There you go. That's it for the login and register.
Hi, my name is Clarence and I'll be presenting about the search function and the search history in the in our news website. So in this news website, after the user logs in, this is where the user can find articles that's related to different type of categories like the general, business, entertainment, science, and sports. So in the homepage where they can find any articles related to be these five categories based on the specific keyword. Well, let's say I wanna find is travel, and I will search for it. You display the any articles related to the keyword travel. Let's say I want to try to find another one. Let's say like food. So I search for another keyword and we display news. There's news articles related to the food, the keyword food. And next is the date picker function. So this function, right, it actually fetch past articles as that has been published on this specific day. Let's say I want to try is 9 June. Then I will go and search for it. We then with the keyword and the calendar, you will then display the articles related to it. So so as for the search history, right? Let's say you enter in any keyword at all, let's say travel, food, or whatever, you then store inside this search history function where you can actually get back past keywords that has been entered inside the function. So the code say as for the home screen homepage code, the function that display this function is actually at the bash, and this is where the detail will be displayed inside the first name and last name of the screen, like as right here. Then it also display the program function. Okay, so based on so based on these functions, right, it actually fetches the category based, let's say science. It fetch based on the topics, the API keyword, and the country. The API keyword is actually displayed here. So this is where the user can actually this is where you fetch the articles based on the API key lah. So this for use of the search function, right, it actually fetches based on every detail based on the API key. And then you search then display the function and display console log, let's say for this function. Let's say you enter any keyword in here. The path I put in another keyword monster and then search for it, then display data. And this is the search function to the calendar function. Actually, this is where the search function actually works out. The weakness of the search function, like, is that it wasn't that the data is actually stored in the website locally instead of inside the MongoDB database. Because now we are actually having a problem connecting it to the database. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Viknesh, Analaki Tangisparan. My student ID is P2301498 and I will explain about my contribution to the News Web API project. So to start off, I mainly worked on backend work for this project, and then some I provided some help to my fellow members to help with the front end part. So mostly I did the backend. So to start off from index.js, this file is mainly to define where the application will start off. Like here, as you can see, I've defined as the app will be launched first to display the results from here. So when you go inside the app.js, you can see it will request for user to whether it's a login or not. It will check if whether the user is logged in or not. So let's say if the user is logged in, it will redirect the user to the home screen. And let's say if the user is not logged in, it will go through all these elements and components, and then finally it will navigate the user to login screen if the user is not logged in. So from here, the user can log in or sign up for a new account and then log in, which will go inside the home screen. And then as you can see, here is what my major works are. So over here you can see I worked mainly on API, which is from News API, and then Gnews. News API, I used it to display result based on business, entertainment, and sports and general. And then Genius is using science category to display results. So as I told you just now, we are using five categories from these APIs to APIs, which is general news, business news, entertainment news, science news, and then finally sports news. And then I have defined the categories with the API keys for the systems to use connect to the API key so that it can display the results based on the categories. So as you can see here, when the user goes to the home screen, the default category will be general, so it will display the results accordingly. So search query and then articles is where the results will be shown, how the results will be shown. As you can see, if there are no results inside the API, then it will display no articles available. Okay, and then next, my part was in index.js, which is inside the server folder. This folder acts as a backend work for the API, web API, news web API. So over here, I have defined for function for sports API, and then country I use Malaysia, then category as sports, and then API key is the unique ID. And then here for business news, and then here for entertainment news, and then here is the API endpoint for science news. And science news, I had to use Genius so that it doesn't clash with the user API, so that we can extend the request number of requests for the results from each news. So that's all from me, sir. Thank you.
Hi, so for my part, I was doing the bookmark function of the website. However, this feature is not working. because I was having trouble trying to connect the front end to the back end. Somehow it just the request cannot go through. But nonetheless, I will run you through how it was supposed to be and how the logic behind it is. So okay, so in I'm doing it from home screen, homescreen.js. So over here, we have this handle bookmark click function, and basically what it's doing is that it will check first it will compare the URL of the current article that the person has clicked the bookmark on, and it will compare it with the bookmarks the bookmark URL in the database. So like for like, so over here the sum function is basically is just checking for a match between the current bookmark and the bookmarks the list of bookmarks that is already in the database. So once there's a match, it means that this bookmark it already exists in the user's bookmark, and the user wants to remove the bookmark. And so from there, the front end will send a request to the back end over here. So API users slash bookmarks, which is over here. So to remove bookmarks, basically what it's doing is that let me go back here. Okay, yes. So what it's doing is that it is gonna send the method it's gonna set the method as delete, and then it will send it will specify the content, the data type that it's gonna pass in. And then over here we have these credentials include. So I was trying to solve this issue, the disconnect issue. So I tried to add in the cookies, to pass in the cookies from the current session to the back end, and then it will send in the title and the URL of the current article's bookmark. And then because inside the database, the schema, so because bookmarks is an array of the title and the URL, so it sends in these two, and from there basically the request body will be extracted into the user ID and the URL. At least in theory, I couldn't test that part because I could not even add the bookmarks. But generally the whole gist, that's the general gist of it. And over here is where it will get the user's session ID, and then after that it will check and authenticate if there's actually a user or not, just for some extra precaution or extra security. And then from there it will look through the bookmarks that is present in the database, and this filter function is basically just filtering out the bookmark from that filtering out that specific bookmark that the user wants to remove from the database, the array of articles. and from there, after that the database, the state of the bookmark attribute will be saved back into the database. And then over here is just some error, some just status messages, success or error messages, and it would come out, and uh, it will come out here and set the state for the bookmark. And so the setting of states is up here, over here, and from the state, it will influence the button itself to change icon. So uh, obviously to save bookmarks, it will become a black color. The bookmark icon will be black color, and then vice versa lah. So that is for the removing of bookmarks. Then if the bookmark is not present in the database, meaning that if the user is saving a new article into the bookmarks list, then it will do the same thing, send the request, go into users. This time we'll be adding bookmarks, and from the request body, it will extract the title and the URL of the article, and then get the user, and then this error message, and then from here it will just basically join the title and the URL into the array, into the bookmarks attribute array of the database, and then it will save in the database, and then we come back out, and then if success, then it will what it's doing is that it's just gonna join. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, just joining the the node into the array, and then it will set the state again. So yeah, for some reason, not sure why, it just doesn't want to work. Yeah, so this is the limitation of the system. Maybe let me show you how it would look like if oops yeah, let me show you how it would look like if it was working. So right now it's populated with dummy data, and yeah, it's just, that's how it's supposed to be like. But yeah, that's about it.